Doctors warn, ignoring this everyday spice could leave you defenseless against age-related inflammation. Find out which one might be your body's secret shield before it's too late. We live in an age where people are living longer than ever, yet longer doesn't always mean healthier. As medical science extends our years, a shadow lurks beneath the surface of many aging bodies, a shadow so subtle and gradual that most people don't even realize it's there until damage has been done. That shadow is age-related inflammation, a condition scientists now call inflammaging. Inflammaging isn't the sudden, sharp inflammation you might experience when you sprain an ankle or fight off the flu. Instead, it's a slow-burning fire that smolders inside your cells, damaging tissues, accelerating aging, and paving the way for chronic diseases. Heart disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, diabetes, and even some cancers have one villain in common: low-grade, persistent inflammation. The hidden fire within. Imagine your immune system as a security guard. When you're young, that guard is alert, quick to respond to threats, and skilled at extinguishing danger. But as you age, the guard becomes jittery, overly suspicious, and sometimes careless. Instead of calming down after a threat has been handled, the guard keeps sounding the alarm, attacking not just intruders but your own healthy tissues. That's inflammaging in action. It's a phenomenon that researchers have studied for decades, yet only recently has it entered mainstream conversations. Unlike wrinkles or gray hair, inflammation doesn't show up in the mirror. It doesn't send obvious warning signals. Instead, it quietly erodes your health, year after year, until it manifests as something more serious: aching joints, memory loss, clogged arteries, or impaired immunity. Doctors often see inflammaging as the common denominator of aging poorly. It explains why some people in their 70s remain vibrant and active, while others struggle with multiple chronic illnesses. Why inflammation gets worse with age. Several factors drive this silent enemy. Cellular damage over time. Every cell in your body endures wear and tear. Over decades, DNA mutations, protein breakdown, and oxidative stress accumulate. The immune system perceives this damage as a constant threat, triggering an inflammatory response. Immune system overdrive. Aging doesn't always weaken immunity. Sometimes it misguides it. Instead of sharp, focused attacks, the system begins waging prolonged battles that harm healthy tissues. Visceral fat. Extra fat around the abdomen isn't just passive storage. Fat cells release inflammatory molecules, contributing to chronic low-grade inflammation. Environmental stresses, pollution, poor diet, lack of exercise, and chronic stress all amplify inflammatory signals. The result: a body caught in a constant red alert state. The health costs of ignoring it. Inflammaging is not just a scientific concept. It's a real-world health hazard with consequences that touch nearly every system in your body. Heart and blood vessels. Chronic inflammation stiffens arteries, promotes plaque buildup, and raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Brain. Inflammatory molecules cross into the brain, accelerating cognitive decline, memory loss, and conditions like Alzheimer's disease. Bones and joints. Arthritis is one of the most visible results of inflammaging, but even without arthritis, inflammation erodes cartilage and weakens bones. Immune defense. Ironically, while inflammation is part of immunity, chronic inflammation weakens your defense against real infections. Older adults often find themselves more vulnerable to flu, pneumonia, and other illnesses. Metabolism. Inflammaging disrupts insulin sensitivity, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes and weight gain. Researchers now see inflammaging as the master switch that drives the most feared age-related diseases. If you can cool this internal fire, you're not just preventing aches and pains, you're potentially extending both lifespan and health span. The surprising role of food. Here's the good news: while inflammaging feels inevitable, lifestyle choices can fan or extinguish the fire. Among those choices, diet plays the starring role. Processed foods, excess sugar, and unhealthy fats are like gasoline. But nature has also provided us with ingredients that act like fire extinguishers, calming the immune system and protecting cells from damage. This brings us to the surprising twist. For centuries, People across cultures have used certain spices not just to flavor food but also to heal the body. Ancient healers may not have known the scientific term inflammaging, but they understood that some spices soothed pain, aided digestion, and preserved vitality. Now, modern science is validating what traditional doctors warn. Ignoring this everyday spice could leave you defenseless against age-related inflammation, but nature has already placed a powerful ally right in your kitchen. If inflammaging is the silent fire slowly consuming our health, then the answer may not come from a laboratory or a complex medical device. Instead, it may come from something so ordinary, so woven into the fabric of everyday cooking, that most of us overlook its true power. That everyday hero is turmeric, the golden spice revered for centuries across cultures. The golden root of ancient wisdom. Long before the term inflammation was coined, ancient civilizations understood that certain plants soothed the body and restored balance. Among them, turmeric held a special place. Ayurveda in India. For over 3,000 years, turmeric was prescribed not just as a culinary spice but as medicine. It was given to heal wounds, reduce swelling, ease joint pain, and protect the digestive system. Traditional Chinese medicine, turmeric was used to improve circulation, relieve abdominal pain, and move the blood, a concept that resonates with modern understandings of its effects on cardiovascular health. Middle Eastern and Southeast Asian traditions, it was used in rituals as a natural dye and as a remedy for skin conditions and infections. Even today, in many parts of rural India, turmeric milk, golden milk, is the go-to remedy for colds, coughs, or injuries. Generations instinctively reached for this spice when the body showed signs of stress. The spice of gold. What sets turmeric apart is not just its brilliant color but its bioactive compounds, the most famous being curcumin. This bright yellow polyphenol is responsible for much of turmeric's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and even anti-cancer properties. Modern researchers have put turmeric under the microscope, and the findings are remarkable. Curcumin interacts with multiple molecular pathways, essentially dialing down the alarm bells of inflammation at the cellular level. It protects tissues from free radical damage, reducing oxidative stress, another driver of aging. It even influences gene expression, switching on protective genes and silencing those that fuel chronic disease. This makes turmeric not just a seasoning, but a functional food, one that provides therapeutic benefits far beyond flavor. Why turmeric works against inflammaging. To understand why turmeric is such a powerful ally against age-related inflammation, it helps to revisit how inflammaging operates. Remember, inflammaging isn't an acute condition like a swollen ankle. It's the body's constant, low-level alarm system stuck in the wrong position. Curcumin comes in like a skilled firefighter. It blocks NF-κB, a protein complex that acts like a master switch for inflammation, turning off genes that promote inflammatory cytokines. It lowers CRP, C-reactive protein, a biomarker of inflammation often elevated in aging individuals. It reduces oxidative damage, which fuels both inflammation and cell death. It enhances autophagy, the body's cellular recycling system, helping clear damaged components that would otherwise trigger immune responses. This is why researchers believe turmeric is not just good for aches and pains but could help slow down the biological clock itself. A hero in plain sight. It's almost ironic. In an era where billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies are racing to develop anti-aging drugs, the solution has been sitting in kitchen cupboards worldwide. Every time you sprinkle turmeric into a curry, stir it into soup, or sip golden milk, you're giving your body a shield against inflammaging. Yet here's the twist. Many people don't even realize what they are consuming. For them, turmeric is just that yellow spice. They use it for color, unaware that it holds medicinal gold. Stories that prove its power. The story of turmeric isn't just written in lab results. It's etched into real lives. Arthritis relief. Elderly patients who couldn't tolerate heavy painkillers found daily turmeric supplementation reduced joint stiffness and improved mobility. Cognitive health. Populations in India, where turmeric is a daily staple, have some of the lowest rates of Alzheimer's disease worldwide. While many factors are at play, Researchers believe turmeric's anti-inflammatory effects in the brain play a role. Heart protection. Studies have shown turmeric improves endothelial function, the health of the lining of blood vessels, which tends to decline with age. These aren't miracle cures, but they are consistent, measurable improvements that accumulate over time. Why don't more people use it? If turmeric is so powerful, why isn't it already a mainstream weapon against age-related inflammation? There are several reasons. Lack of awareness. Many people still view it as just a spice, not a health ally. Bioavailability issues. Curcumin isn't easily absorbed by the body on its own. Without pairing it with black pepper, which contains piperine, or healthy fats, much of its potential is lost. Modern diets. Processed foods dominate many people's meals, pushing aside traditional spices and herbs. Pharmaceutical dominance. Drugs often overshadow natural remedies in mainstream healthcare, even when evidence for dietary interventions is strong. The result? Millions live unaware that an inexpensive, accessible tool for healthier aging is within reach. The call to rediscover turmeric. Doctors warn, ignoring this golden spice could leave you vulnerable to the creeping fire of inflammaging. But rediscovering turmeric could shift the course of your health. Unlike expensive supplements or complicated regimens, this is a habit anyone can adopt. Turmeric's story is not just about fighting disease, it's about reclaiming balance. It reminds us that the human body is designed to thrive when nourished by nature. Looking ahead, as we move forward, the story gets even more compelling. In the next part, we'll explore the science behind turmeric, digging into studies that show exactly how curcumin works at the molecular. Doctors warn, ignoring this everyday spice could leave you defenseless against age-related inflammation. But modern science is uncovering why turmeric may be one of the most potent natural shields we have against the hidden fire of aging. In Part 1, we exposed the silent threat of inflammaging. In Part 2, we revealed turmeric as the everyday hero that cultures have trusted for centuries. Now, it's time to step inside the laboratory and explore the research. This is where tradition meets modern biochemistry, and the results are nothing short of extraordinary. Curcumin, the golden molecule. Turmeric is the root. Its color is striking, but its power comes from a single star compound, curcumin. Scientists call it a polyphenol, a type of plant-based chemical with potent biological activity. What makes curcumin so special? Unlike many compounds that act on just one pathway, curcumin is a multi-targeted agent. It influences dozens of molecular signals simultaneously, making it one of the most versatile natural substances known to medicine. Here's what science reveals about how curcumin tackles inflammation and aging. 1. Turning down the master switch of inflammation. At the heart of inflammaging lies a transcription factor called NFKB. Think of it as a switch that flips on genes responsible for producing inflammatory molecules. When NFKB is overactive, it floods the body with cytokines, chemical messengers that keep the immune system in a constant state of alarm. Curcumin directly inhibits NFKB, lowering this chronic signaling cascade. In practical terms, this means curcumin doesn't just mask inflammation like painkillers do, it dials down the system at its root. 2. Quelling cytokine storms. Cytokines are vital in small amounts, but in excess, they wreak havoc. Elevated levels of interleukins, Illinois 1, Illinois 6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNF, are hallmarks of inflammaging. Studies show curcumin significantly reduces these pro-inflammatory cytokines. By calming the cytokine storm, curcumin prevents tissues from being caught in the crossfire of immune misfires. 3. Fighting oxidative stress. Aging cells accumulate free radicals, unstable molecules that damage DNA, proteins, and lipids. This oxidative stress fuels both inflammation and disease. Curcumin is a potent antioxidant, neutralizing free radicals before they cause harm. It also boosts the body's own antioxidant enzymes, such as glutathione and superoxide dismutase, creating a double line of defense. 4. Protecting mitochondria. Mitochondria are the power plants of cells. When they falter, cells age faster. Inflammaging damages mitochondria, leading to fatigue, muscle weakness, and organ decline. Research shows curcumin preserves mitochondrial function, keeping cells energized and resilient. This helps explain why turmeric consumption is linked to improved vitality in aging populations. 5. Enhancing autophagy. Autophagy is the body's built-in recycling program, a process where cells clean up damaged components. With age, autophagy slows down, leaving cellular junk to trigger inflammation. Curcumin stimulates autophagy, effectively spring-cleaning the cell. This rejuvenation lowers the inflammatory burden and supports longevity. Clinical evidence, from lab to life. Laboratory studies are fascinating, but what about real humans? The evidence here is equally compelling. Arthritis. Multiple randomized controlled trials show that curcumin supplements reduce pain and stiffness in osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, sometimes performing as well as anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. Cardiovascular health. In a study of postmenopausal women, curcumin supplementation improved endothelial function, the health of blood vessel linings, as much as exercise. Endothelial decline is a major factor in heart disease. Cognitive function. Animal studies reveal that curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier, reducing amyloid plaques linked to Alzheimer's disease. Human studies are ongoing, but populations with turmeric-rich diets consistently show lower dementia rates. Diabetes and metabolism. Curcumin has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce fasting blood glucose levels, protecting against type 2 diabetes, a disease fueled by inflammaging. These studies aren't isolated. They represent a growing body of evidence that positions turmeric as one of the most researched natural anti-inflammatories in existence. The bioavailability challenge. There is, however, a catch. Curcumin on its own is poorly absorbed by the human body. Taken raw, much of it passes through without entering the bloodstream. But nature and science have solutions. Black pepper. Piperine. Adding just a pinch of black pepper enhances curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. This is why many traditional recipes pair turmeric with pepper. Healthy fats. Curcumin is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves better in oil. Cooking turmeric with coconut oil, ghee, or olive oil increases its potency. Modern supplements. Some supplements use nanoparticles, liposomes, or phytosome technology to improve delivery. Understanding this bioavailability issue transforms turmeric from a casual seasoning to a precision health tool. Beyond inflammation, the wider potential. While this series focuses on age-related inflammation, curcumin's influence extends further. Cancer research. Studies suggest curcumin may slow the growth of certain tumors by interfering with signaling pathways. Liver health. Curcumin supports detoxification enzymes, helping the liver process toxins more effectively. Gut health. It fosters a healthier microbiome, which itself regulates immune function and inflammation. The sheer range of curcumin's effects explains why it has captured the attention of researchers worldwide. The cautionary side. No hero is perfect. Doctors warn, ignoring this everyday spice could leave you defenseless against age-related inflammation. But when turmeric moves from theory to practice, the results are nothing short of life-changing. We've looked at the hidden enemy, inflammaging, and the everyday hero, turmeric. We've explored the science behind its golden molecule, curcumin. Now, let's step out of the lab and into real life. How does this ancient spice actually impact the lives of people battling age-related inflammation? The answer, in ways both measurable and deeply human. The relief of joints and bones. One of the clearest battlegrounds of inflammaging is the joints. Arthritis, whether osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, is inflammation made visible. The swelling, the stiffness, the grinding pain when you climb stairs or grip a cup, it's the body's silent fire shouting out loud. What the research shows. In clinical trials, patients taking standardized curcumin extracts reported significant reductions in pain and stiffness, often on par with ibuprofen. Unlike NSAIDs, nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which can erode the stomach lining, turmeric showed minimal side effects. Some long-term studies suggest turmeric may not just soothe symptoms but also slow the degenerative process. What people experience. Elderly individuals once chained to painkillers have reported regaining mobility. One case often cited is of an arthritis patient who, after introducing turmeric into her diet, reduced her reliance on medication and began gardening again, something she hadn't done in years. This is the difference between merely surviving and truly living. A heart shield in a bottle of spice. The heart is another silent victim of inflammaging. Arteries harden, blood vessels lose flexibility, and inflammation accelerates plaque buildup. What the research shows. A study published in the American Journal of Cardiology found that patients who took curcumin after bypass surgery had a 65% lower risk of heart attack during their hospital stay. Another trial showed that turmeric improved endothelial function, how well blood vessels expand and contract, as effectively as moderate exercise. What people experience. For those with high blood pressure or early signs of heart disease, incorporating turmeric has meant better circulation, more energy, and fewer pressure spikes. Many describe feeling lighter, less burdened by the silent weight of cardiovascular strain. Doctors warn, ignoring this simple step could leave your heart exposed to the creeping damage of inflammation. Protecting the aging brain. Few fears are as haunting as the loss of memory and independence. Alzheimer's and dementia are rising at alarming rates, fueled in part by chronic inflammation in the brain. What the research shows. Curcumin crosses the blood-brain barrier, a rare ability that allows it to act directly inside the brain. Studies in mice show it reduces amyloid plaques, one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. In human trials, older adults taking curcumin supplements scored better on memory tests and reported improved mood. What people experience. In parts of India, where turmeric is consumed daily, rates of dementia are significantly lower compared to Western countries. While diet is only one factor, the protective role of turmeric is strongly suspected. For individuals already noticing mild cognitive decline, turmeric may not reverse time, but it could slow the slide and preserve quality of life. Metabolism and diabetes defense. Age-related inflammation doesn't just hurt the joints and brain, it disrupts metabolism. This is why older adults are more prone to type 2 diabetes. What the research shows. Curcumin improves insulin sensitivity, allowing cells to process glucose more efficiently. A landmark study found that pre-diabetic individuals who took curcumin were less likely to develop diabetes compared to those who did not. What people experience. For many, this translates into steadier energy, fewer sugar crashes, and better weight control. Some report reducing their reliance on medication when turmeric becomes part of their regimen, always under doctor supervision. Immunity and everyday resilience. Inflammaging weakens the immune system, leaving older adults vulnerable to infections. Turmeric flips that script. What the research shows. Curcumin modulates immune function, calming overreactions while boosting defenses against real threats. It enhances the activity of T cells and natural killer cells, crucial for fighting viruses and even cancer cells. What people experience. Many older adults using turmeric regularly describe fewer colds, faster recovery from illness, and a general sense of vitality. For them, turmeric isn't just a spice, it's daily insurance. The ripple effect. The benefits of turmeric don't exist in isolation. Reducing inflammation in one system inevitably improves others. When joints hurt less, people move more, which strengthens the heart and muscles. When blood vessels stay supple, the brain receives better circulation, enhancing memory. When oxidative stress is lowered, skin, eyes, and digestion all improve. In this way, turmeric creates a ripple of resilience across the body. It doesn't promise perfection, no natural remedy does, but it consistently shifts the balance toward healing. Real-life case snapshots. The retired teacher with arthritis. We've uncovered the silent enemy, inflammaging, revealed turmeric as the everyday hero, explored the science, and looked at real-world benefits. Now, it's time to turn knowledge into practice. This final part will show you how to make turmeric a lifeline, an everyday ritual that protects your health, adds vitality to your years, and puts you in control of your aging journey. How much turmeric do you really need? The first question many people ask is, how much turmeric should I take? The answer depends on whether you're using it in cooking or as a supplement. Culinary use. Most curries or soups contain 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of turmeric. This provides some benefit, especially when paired with pepper and fat. Supplement form. Clinical studies often use 500 to 1,000 milligrams of curcumin per day, usually standardized extracts that deliver more active compound than raw turmeric powder. Upper safety limit. Up to 2 grams of curcumin daily is considered safe for most adults, though it should be introduced gradually. The key is consistency. Sprinkling turmeric once in a while won't yield much benefit, but daily use over months and years creates the protective shield your body needs against inflammaging. Unlocking turmeric's power, the absorption puzzle. Raw turmeric alone isn't enough. To truly harness its healing properties, you need to boost its bioavailability. Add black pepper. Piperine in pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Even a pinch makes a difference. Pair with healthy fats. Curcumin dissolves in fat, so combine turmeric with coconut oil, ghee, or olive oil. This is why traditional dishes are so effective. Heat helps. Light cooking enhances curcumin's solubility, making it more bioactive. Practical rule: turmeric plus pepper plus fat equals maximum benefit. Easy ways to make turmeric a daily habit. Turmeric doesn't need to feel like a chore. Here are simple, delicious, and sustainable ways to weave it into your life. 1. Golden milk, turmeric latte. Warm a cup of milk, dairy or plant-based. Add 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a little honey. Sip before bed for anti-inflammatory, sleep-supporting comfort. 2. Turmeric tea. Simmer water with turmeric, ginger, and lemon. Drink it in the morning to kickstart your metabolism and immunity. 3. Cooking with purpose. Add turmeric to soups, stews, curries, and roasted vegetables. Mix it into rice or quinoa for both flavor and health. Blend into smoothies with banana, pineapple, and coconut milk. 4. Supplements for